Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2. Let me introduce to you, arguably the greatest Terran player of all time in StarCraft 2, in the red in the bottom left. It is the man, the myth, the Maru. But, on the other side, another GOAT-based player from Team Basilisk. It is the rank 1 player in the world, the finisher, Serral. Yes, rank 1 versus rank 2, the match we were denied at the Gamers 8 Grand Finals here in the World Team League, representing their teams, though with one of the more awkward formats for doing so. This is a best of 2. Now, they're both looking to score some points for their teams in the Team League, and I look forward to covering more of the games. If you want to see them, well, it'd be awesome if you could like and subscribe. And Jimmy, what are we at? 1,109 likes. If we get that, I'll cast another series. And probably another series from this match. Basilisk versus Onside Gaming. Picking up the 2 best players and the 2, well, we'll see, best matches. There's a very real chance they both walk away with 1 point for their team here. But game 1 will be Maru with his Threepers up against Serral on Ancient Cistern. Well, Maru has perfected the Threeper build. He's mastered it to the point he won the GSL with, again, yes. It's like, water is wet, Winter. Well, citation needed, but Maru winning the GSL seems to be more often than not nowadays. Well, the Zerglings with speed. Serral's response is a delayed, well, not a delayed speed, but just in time in order to drive back the Threepers. Maru knows the timing. He pulls back with them in time. And he has, well, he's on the side of the map where the add-ons are exposed. He's going to run right back up into the main. There's a chance Serral could take out the tech lab before the Reapers are able to come down and deal with it. And that can significantly delay the stim here. Yeah, if you're gonna go for anything, you go for the tech lab. Serral agrees, loses maybe a couple extra Zerglings, immediately slapped back down. But delaying the tech lab by any amount of time is delaying the follow-up attack. Potential for medevacs, Marines, what else do you need? Especially as Maru, but... Alright, a good start for Serral. About as good as you're gonna get, I think, against Maru's setup. The point of the Threeper build is to keep that pressure on, get as much scouting as possible. It makes it nearly impossible to do a quick roach all in without it at least being spotted. There's already a lot of damage on that third hatchery, which may very well become relevant as time goes on here, as it is unlikely to heal up near full by the time a double drop could come out, or any other sort of pressure. There's double Hellions, a third command center, of course. The double Rex at the natural is, well, the most Serral was going to get was that add-on. He's on the side of the map, unfortunately for Maru, that the add-ons were exposed. But now, unless Serral's willing to commit to some huge, like, Baneling bust or other unlikely to succeed all-in, Maru's perfectly comfortable on his 2 bases. Gonna sit back, well, probably not relax, but build up for a medevac-based attack. Serral, on the other hand, lair on the way. No evolution chambers. We'll probably see a Baneling nest momentarily, as it looks like Serral is heading straight towards Baneling speed. I'd be surprised, maybe take a page out of Dark's book. Slap down the night is now, no, Baneling speed. This is Serral, alright? He wrote the textbook, alright? When you come into his class, Professor Serral will be, did you bring your textbooks, class? It's like, Professor, can't you just give it to us for free? No, that's not how you become a champion. Okay, I didn't spend my entire career learning how to play just so I could teach you for free. Yeah, Serral only shows up for the largest scale events. Doesn't disgrace it. Well, I do feel like he does focus on these events like the Team League and major tournaments. He doesn't show up nearly as much, and neither does Maru in the smaller kind of weekly tournaments. Partially, I think, to hide some of these top-tier strategies. But the textbook indeed has been written, and now we're just reading off it. Quick Baneling speed against Maru's 1-1-3 base. The 4th was a bit optimistic here. With no Baneling speed, it's very unlikely Serral going to be able to hold on to it. Maru comes in with a Liberator. It took some damage as it sauntered into the natural, but made it all the way around to the third, and is actually getting some kills here. Serral backs off. He's gonna lose 3 drones, some mining time. He already expanded to the other side, I think, kind of offering up his hatchery as a sacrifice over to the right flank. Whichever side Maru hit, Serral would have one on the other. All right, redundancy is key here. As another Liberator comes in, well, the same Liberator comes in again after backing off before, but is taken down by the Queen. So it's 67 drones, but he's actually a bit supply blocked right now. Has to add some more Overlords to the production tab. Quite an interruption in production as Maru has barely lost any. He's lost 1 Reaper and 1 Liberator. It's not like Serral is so far into the red here. He's only lost 14 Lings and a couple Ovies, but Maru actually only on 2 barracks this entire time. He's adding 3 more. Those 3 extra barracks are pretty late in production, as he already has a third 60 SCVs. He should have the money to support it. But I think Serral is going to bounce back in the sheer amount of income in production because Maru's barracks are just not very fast behind it. He's not going to have the level of marine production to keep the pressure on as Serral heads towards 1-1. Another factory. Yeah, Maru realizes all he can really do is keep at the edge of the creep. He's finished 1-1. But Serral has 4 bases. He's got a macro hatch in the main. He's expanded the other side. Guns down a Queen. Maru picks up most of the Marines. Heads away. In towards the main. I don't know why they were on different boost cooldowns, but there you go. Drops in. Infestation pit. Serral not quite done with 1-1. The thing he did sacrifice was those upgrades to get the rest of the production. Maru target fire good. But Serral has more than enough units to continue dealing with this. Maru is just dancing back and forth, keeping as many Zerglings pinned back to Serral's base as possible. Because one thing Maru can't afford, as he's getting all his production up right now, you see barracks 6, 7, and 8 in the production tab. He cannot afford to be dealing with counterattacks. He cannot afford to be losing SCVs. He cannot afford to be even paying attention to his base, at least very often, as he needs to keep Serral busy until he can match his level of production. Serral should be starting his hive. There it is. 2-2 on the way. More Zerglings. Plenty of Banelings. Widow Mines added in for Maru, trying to deal with the swath of Ling Bane. Widow Mines can take big chunks, but often as not, with a player of this caliber, they will be turned against the Terran as well. Burrow on the way. Honestly, Serral, the only thing we're missing is a Hydra Den. He's a pure Ling Bane. Pure Ling Bane Viper has been the newest flavor of Zerg against Terran. Just trying to flat out defend and then overrun with Hive Tech, using the Vipers to dismantle the medevacs, Binding Cloud of Duct, what have you. But right now, Maru gonna put the pressure on. Serral is nearly maxed out, but Maru has plenty of army to pressure. And with just the Ling Bane, there's no way to take down the medevacs efficiently. The Queens are good, but they do have to get close and make them vulnerable. Hellbats in the mix here, but the Banelings are rolling in. Widowmine tried something. He actually picks up the Hellbats. Leaves the rest. Medevac cleared out in the main. Zerglings keeping quick track of it. Just right-clicked on. Hive is done. Adrenal Glands. 3, 2... Oh, wait, he's busy dealing with Widow Mines. Adrenal Glands should be next after he clears up any more. Adrenal Glands, the best attack upgrade. It's better than any of the other attack upgrades. I'm not sure if it's better than all 3 combined. It might depend on the scenario, but the Widow Mine, big hits. Maru with the minefield here. A bit of a Minecraft enthusiast himself. 50 Zerglings in production. Lings not enough to deal with this. Maru trying to match him on the field. More Lings and Banes. The minefield has not been cleared up. Drilling Claws was not even on the way. He's gonna have to deal with another wave. Trying to deal with some of the mines now. Throws the Banelings into it, but the mines... Oh, God, decent hit. Serral dipping heavily in supply. He doesn't have 2-2 done while all this is happening. Another medevac is driven back. But the mines are starting to add up. Viper's on the way. Adrenal Glands as well. Serral, 3-3. But Maru keeps the pressure on. He's still got a medevac back at the base. He's still dragging some of the Zerglings back into the main. He's keeping Serral back, so that way he can't spring forward. And Maru keeps grabbing more and more of the map while this goes on. Widow Mines blunt the force of this attack dramatically. More takes down a Viper. On the way out, the Queens of Brenda, get out of the way. Oh, Maru, heavy losses on both sides. Oh, terrible, terrible damage. A whole lot of important units have been taken down. The mines are adding up. Honestly, I think mines is a bit of a misnomer for Widow Mines. More like Widow missile platforms. As the ability to recharge, I think, disqualifies them as a mine. But I'm not here to get pedantic. Actually, I kind of am, but that's not the point. What kind of it? No, moving on. Another attempt, mine drop. Oh, and Maru moves the mines out of detection range, but Serral jumps on the army simultaneously. Drags out some of them. Big hits on both sides. The Zerglings and Banelings overrunning the bio on the field. Maru forced to pick up. Mines are cleaned up. 85 to 82 workers in favor of the Korean Terran. Concussive shells added in. Not really late, as Marauders are being mixed into the composition only now, in the later stages of this match. What a game, though. Exactly what you'd expect from the rank 1 and 2 players in the world. They don't always meet on the most momentous occasions, but when we do finally get to see it, they're just trading blows. This is not a fencing match. This is a brawl, but there's an art to it. All right, parasitic bombs, more mine drops as well. The Queens will respond to it. Most of them have been dealt with. 6 drones down, 4 SCVs. I'm not sure what happened on the other side, but Maru's minefield keeps covering him. Burrowed Zergling was cleaned up. More Zerglings coming in. 3-3 on the way. The Hydra Den finally completed. Drops down the command center. Planetary fortress on the way. Maru trying to shore up his position, and so far it's been mostly Maru the entire time. Serral, another hit. The mines, just too much. 3-3 about to complete for Serral, though, and Hydra's being mixed into the army as kind of a counter to the mines and to the Marauders. The Zerglings and Banelings can't cut it forever. So overall, yeah, I'm surprised it took this long for the Hydras to join, as Serral has money in the bank, trying to deal with all this. Eats it on the Overseer. The mine's cleaned up. But wait, there's more. Summary here, still 9 mines on the field. +3 armor, +2 vehicle plating for Maru, who has not been stingy with the mech upgrades. Lurker Den on the way. Ghost Academy as well. So, both sides teching up as the game gets more and more dramatic. And the main bases and natural start to mine out. Banelings rolling in. Just melting through the Marines because Maru's focus is on the other side of the map. But Serral with the Queens, Lings and Banes, parasitic bomb on the medevacs as well. He actually unburrows the mine to try to prevent it from hitting too many of his own units, but the Hydras are able to gun down the rest. And Maru finally taking some significant losses, dipping heavily in supply. 191 to 163, but mines at point-blank range on top of the Hydras. As Maru's able to shore up his position, his production is enough to reinforce. But Serral is still maxed out. He's taken his half the map. Despite all his losses, he's made even greater gains. As 200 supplies still. The Lurker Den is done. Where are the Lurker upgrades, Serral? Ghosts are already on the way. I don't know if he'll go Lurkers once he sees the Ghosts on the field. Ghosts, not a bad counter to, you know, any Zerg, but definitely much better against Lurkers than against Massling Bane. Spore Crawler repositioning to deal with some of the mines. Zerglings darting in. Just a surgical strike. Half a dozen supply of Zerglings, that's it. More drilling claws, mines. Cancels the planetary fortress, thinking he might need to lift off, and he might be right about that. Lurker range is in production. The Overseers try to drag the mines into the army, using the Changelings as well for the same effect, but a big mine hit is going to blunt a lot of this attack. Is it enough to take it out? Another mine hit takes out most of the Banelings. The SCVs trying to hold the line. Parasitic bomb, but EMPs counteract it. Most of the rest of the Vipers, and Maru was able to hold the line for now. +1 ranged attack on the way. 82 Zerglings. will refill most of Serral's supply, and he slaps 9 lurkers into production as well. Maxed out yet again. He was beaten back, but by no means was he beaten down. Ghost Cloak. Scanning for everything. Maru knows that Serral is gonna... Everything that Maru has not taken from him, Serral already has. He's got the top left. He's going for the right. The bottom right corner is a burrowed ling. Maru has kept great pressure on, but the tide of Serral is beginning to wash over. The mines, though, negating the banelings. The base will go down. Serral sacrifices the banelings for the cause. Oh, whoa, 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 Maru! Maru, looking the wrong way. He's got a drop in the top left, though. Some Zerglings coming in, letting the tanks do most of the work. He actually takes down the hatchery. The queens try to deal with it. Comes over the high ground. One lurker slips by. Maru's in a tenuous position right now. Serral has inexorably worked over half the map. He takes a step backwards, but 2 steps forward, it seems, at this point. And even though most of his units either don't have legs or have many of them, that's still a net positive. Maru just scanning. You can see in the scans. He's scared. He knows he's in danger. Serral, just... no matter how much you do, the Widow Mines are connecting on the Terran army now. As Serral just throws his lurkers down in position. The snipes are good. More Widow Mines hit the Terrans. Parasitic bomb, medevac quarantined. Serral. More lings. More banes. The ghost still looking. Interrupted by the lurkers. Banelings rolling down. Some masterclass. Serral putting on a clinic right now. But I don't know who could match him in this. Just play like Serral. Zerglings running in. Banelings targeted by the planetary. Actually getting a lot of them. But none of them really used on the planetary, except incidentally. Ranged attack. Maru has slowed it down. The minefield serving as a buffer zone. But Serral is perfectly happy to keep Maru beaten back to 2 mining bases, give or take. 3 mining bases. Serral has... well, let's do this. Yeah. Pretty significant income lead. Has about 4.5 mining bases right now. Which is more. EMP hits the Vipers before any parabombs. Means he will be able to get out relatively unscathed. A pretty costly fight there for Serral. Not that he can't replace those units. 88 more Zerglings in production. Just endless swarms. How many? He's lost 730 Zerglings. And he'll do it again. He may before the end of this. A single infester. Serral's trademark. The Surgeon. Some players build 20. Serral builds 1. Somehow gets the same effect. Widowmine's looking really good here, though, at the front. Ghost Cloak to force the Overseers out. Infester just kind of hanging out. Doesn't end up getting EMP'd somehow. Or dying. Or casting anything. I don't have any idea how the Infester survived that, but the hatchery did not. Serral doesn't have that much money in the bank. His attempts to break the defensive position Maru had have mostly been met with without success. Another base attempted over to the left side. Whoop. Gets those medevacs out of there. But Serral, his momentum slowed somewhat. The ghosts are spotted. Snipes out. Oh god, that one infester. The surge in here. Oh, the scan caught it! He suspected it. He saw the infester in the last fight. He knew what Serral was going for. He's coming up a ramp into mass ghost bio. Serral doesn't have the money to keep this up forever. He is expending a lot more. He's lost 10,000 more minerals. He has mined 11,000 more, so for now. Morlings and Banes rolling in. Just Maru waving his snipe wand over, seeing whatever he can get. That rapid fire snipe paying off. Gotta be careful with those ghosts on the back line. Splits them back. A lot of banelings rolling through, but Serral pulls back yet again. Maru continues forward. Where is the counter momentum? What is over here? Lurkers attempting to work on the planetary will find an opportunity. That does keep him busy. The banelings are rolling in, but there's no detection. He doesn't necessarily need detection to kill them. It will be picked up. He tried to manually detonate, I think. And Maru, the lurkers kept him distracted. So he couldn't quite manage that fight perfectly. He just got stabbed in the side by too many lurker thorns. And now Maru goes from holding a strong position to barely holding anything at all. Serral just looking a little dicey just for a moment, but is right back in the driver's seat here. He's taken that momentum ever since Hive Tech kicked in, and only occasionally let it go. And now Maru, he no longer has the ability to divide and conquer. He doesn't have enough to divide. Hydraslings and Bane. Serral still has a solid amount of mining. He's not going to exhaust his resources for quite a while yet. Maru knows he needs to keep the pressure on, try to keep Serral from banking up. Otherwise, he'll just be facing the endless cinematic waves of Zerg. I don't know. Maru. The Widow Mines are good. The planetary is dead. The medevacs are completely out of energy. I don't know if it was EMPs or otherwise. There's a burrowed infester. Oh my god. And he didn't catch it with the scan. Pops up. Fungal. He has to... Oh, the EMP lands. So he won't end the game here, but he'll hit damn close. Almost got that second fungal off. Was looking for the clump of ghosts, but Serral. Maru clawed his way back. The army value near even for several minutes, but Serral is inevitable. Serral is maxed out, and Serral is a few... Oh my god, he's tried to bait the burrowed Banes. He's gonna... He's toying with Maru now. Which is literally the only person in the world who could even pretend to do that. At the Bane. He's not gonna do it so much that he risked the game. GG! Serral just rolls through. It wasn't easy. It wasn't quick. He lost 1,075 Zerglings in 25 minutes. As well, he lost 10,000 more minerals. But the Zerg are overwhelming. That is just too much. God. And Maru had so much momentum, he just couldn't convert it into a winning position. God, Serral. We do have another game. I don't know how it ends. It's a best of 2, so either way, there will be one more game. But that can't be a particularly heartening one for Maru or his team. That was some great, like, I gotta stress. I don't know how many people could even keep up with Serral at that level. He just doesn't seem... There's nothing that can hurt him. There's no weakness. He just plays so well. I don't know, like, a lot of players will go with the tanks, but the tanks are a lot more vulnerable to Vipers. I think this isn't really a theory. A lot of people in strategy games will go to, because conventionally in strategy games, not StarCraft 2 so much, but they'll go to counters. Like, they'll go to Age of Empires 2. Like a spearman counters a knight. Not just because the spear is good, but because the spear does a bunch of extra damage to the knight. Because, you know, historical accuracy or whatever. But in StarCraft 2, it simply doesn't work like that. There is no... Okay, there are a few very specific scenarios of, like, screw that unit in particular. But it all comes down to control and timing. I think a big part of what Serral does better than anyone in the world is Banelings. Okay, so stay with me. The manual control of Banelings. You don't actually want Banelings to die. It sounds counterintuitive, but Serral does a lot of right-clicking move commanding his Banelings, because they're a meat shield. When they die, they explode, right? When they attack, they explode. So why attack prematurely? Premature attacks are the source of exhausting way too many Banelings early on. But that is how Serral fights for so long and ends up coming out on top, even though it feels like he's losing so much, is because he's using those Banelings as like an active meat shield. It's a toxic shield. Ah, yes, the internet. A toxic shield. To keep his units alive. If you notice in the fights, the Banelings are not actually trying to attack units. They're essentially just rolling in. Sometimes they'll attack, but they're usually just rolling in to absorb the damage. And they don't have a lot of HP, but you have a lot of them. So even if they take one or two more Marine attacks, or a Widowmine hit, or a Ghost snipe or something, which sometimes they'll do, it's worth it. And I think that's one of those, on top of a dozen other mechanics that most people would get carpal tunnel from just thinking about. Like how he does his injects with 2 different methods, at least that I've noticed. I might be wrong about that, but I can't imagine he does it so precisely with just the base camera. But you know what? Maybe my imagination is stunted. Maybe we need to go back to doing Eyes of a Pro Gamer, which was not my best title of a series, I will say. Even though my most popular video ever on YouTube, I believe to this day, is Eyes of a Pro Gamer of Maru, which is me watching Maru's vision and commentating as like a shadow of Maru, because Maru's probably not going to call me out because Maru doesn't really speak English. Of the Korean players who speak English, which is most of them, I think Maru truly doesn't speak very much. Like, a lot of them understand it, just aren't comfortable speaking it. Just like me, but I do it anyways. So. Anyways, past that point, it's Serral versus Maru. Let's get to the game. A drone died, which is unfortunate, but not game-ending. On the other hand, a Roach Warren could be, as Serral's at 42 drones, but this is a defensive Roach Warren, using a little bit of a smaller map for a significant amount more aggression, it looks like. The finisher getting a little spicier here. Yeah, I do wish I could redo that video and still get the same amount of views, because it was like the first time I did that series, did that style of commentary, and I definitely could have done better. Yeah, but yeah, I'll get that. Like, the one thing people see is like your least accomplished work. Okay, I feel like music artists get this all the time. The most notable. Just anyone, really, and it applies to everything. Widowmine drop. Ugh. I mean, ugh. No. Ugh. That was right the first time. So with roaches on the way, Carapace upgrade. There is a spore. Maru drops him out. Ooh, how bad. Tries to dodge it. Ends up. Nope, nope, nope. That's Serral! So busy killing his own hatchery over here. Oh, he got the mines. All right. But he brings back in another one. Oh, the positioning is so good. He does still have one Zergling, but one Zergling is not enough. And the double drop to follow it up. Maru laying it on here. One game is still very good. Just remember, the team he's facing has Serral. You might notice, but so even just taking one game is very important in this Team League match. Shout out to World Team League, by the way, for sharing the games. Make sure to check them out if you ever have the opportunity. It's one of the coolest events in StarCraft 2. Alright, Roaches split by the grenade. I love how the grenade is such an active part of this, but the Queens are coming in. There should be enough Roaches eventually. But he does manage to trade quite well. Serral, 66 drones, though. We see more. Just... Oh, the Queen... Hydra is dead. Roach Hydra? Or is that straight to lurkers? So with a nice amount of drones. 1-1's on the way. That's a quick hive. Roach Hydra Viper. It's an old build, but it checks out, certainly. Wow, 6 barracks in production for Maru. What? He's going to 10 Rex. Wait, is that right? And the 9 Rex. Still, dramatic. Wait, yeah. Okay. Math isn't my strong suit. That is so much production. He's using him to wall off here, too. Reactor. Lurkers are on the way. What an odd game. There's some incredibly high tech in production. But also so quick as well. Like... We're only 8 minutes in. Serral's about to be at Hive Tech. Whereas Maru only just finished 1-1. I don't even know if he has an armory. He does not. So Maru's going to be locked in to 1-1 against Serral, who's going to have most of the tech tree completed. And Mass Marine is not known for its effectiveness against lurkers. Unless you have some flash level micro or something. It feels like, well, the win condition is lurkers here. Either Maru runs him over with Marines, or Serral's lurkers eviscerate him. 4 lurkers on the way. There's a dozen Marines at a time. Alright, throws 3 siege tanks. Okay, the positioning's good. And lurker range is still a long way up, but the lurkers show up. They're already slicing through. Maru caught a little bit between a rock and a hard place here. Armory on the way. There's got to be a bit more urgency to this attack now. He knows that Serral is going to be going for the lurker range. He splits, he stims, he goes for it. Is there enough transfuse? He runs forward to try to draw the fire. Transfuse is keeping everything intact. Serral is not breaking. He's got too much biomass in the way. And this is before lurker range is done. The Ravagers being used to pick off the tanks, dismantling the back line while holding the front. Serral looking unbreakable. Where are you going? Maru doesn't know where. 7 dropper... What? 7 dropper lords on the way? Are you trolling? He might just want to drop on the army. Was that intentional? It looks so weird, by the way. Like, what is up with... Do they always look like that? Am I crazy? Don't judge dropper lords. So weird. Is that a skin? Yes, I think, actually. Maybe? I'm losing it. Is this a fake? I don't... He could just drop the queens and lurkers. Anyways, this is actually a very interesting exchange. Maru still has a lot of supply, but 2-2's a long way off. It's not like Serral's upgrades are amazing. He just has lurkers, which, you know, are the key point here. What is this? He's gonna do a lurker drop. Feels like, quite an escort for the lurker drop. Only 2 of them. Maru's keeping the pressure up. The game is not over, as the upgrades are Well, Maru's unit composition and position make up for a lot here. As the Liberators and Siege Tanks are blasting their way through. Maru tearing up the front. And there's not enough lurkers. Where are the Vipers? In the production tab, they're not out yet. Zergling's trying to counterattack. Serral gonna drop lurkers in the main. There's nothing to spot for them until they've already showed up. This is how Serral dismantled Maru in the last game. And this is how Serral looks to deal with him again. I can't believe we're back to the... And he forces him away. Oh, no. And now he could break into the natural... Actually, the Zerglings might just be able to fight here. Maru going into a base trade of sorts. He's actually going to crush the counter. Serral still has solid mining. Maru is denied out of 2 of 3 bases. His income is negligible right now. He's down half that of Serral. But the lurkers must survive. How many lurkers on the field? There are 14. Most of them back at home, slicing through. Maru cannot... He just can't stabilize. He needs to get something. He almost got the hatchery in the center. He's looking for another one. Are there enough scans? He has a couple scans, but that's it. He doesn't have enough scans to keep fighting this. 2-2 is done. He knocks out a couple more lurkers. Oh, no! It's a disaster! Terrible, terrible. And he's not dealing with the parabomb. Another one goes and he taps it out. Serral just pulls him apart. Maru with a valiant attack. That would have killed probably anyone else. But Serral with 7 dropper lords for 2 lurkers. You know, if it works, it... Wow, a great series. 2-0 for Serral. Maru looking very good, but just not good enough. Serral still almost unbeatable. Outside of ZVZ, it seems. Takes a Zerg to beat a Zerg, as so the comments will tell me. But thank you for watching. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you did as well. Be awesome if you can like, subscribe, Jimmy. 1,109 likes. We'll cast more of Basilisk versus Onside Gaming. They got Rainer. They got Solar as well. Also, Cure. Wait, no. Cure's on a different team. No guarantees on what bench, but it'll be good. So thank you for watching. Hope I made your day a little bit better. Good luck, have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay chill.